Why if they encounter the wrong person, somebody may take them in the room and say, come, everybody goes for you. And they are encouraged and happy because they want to sell. Because someone they come with manic. They tell them, why you came to sell? If you finish, don't come home. So, and then they encounter the wrong person and take them in the house, but all they think and do something to them. It becomes frustrating again. So we must start with this. The kids being on the street, and that is why, because the budget is before us, you can remember years ago I brought up the prostitution issue, and I asked that we bring forth the gender minister and the police director to tell us what is it that people are all on the street, 14th Street and other places, hanging cloth on the road and doing other activities that is not appropriate. And the gender minister came and told us that they needed additional funding. They needed like $1 million to try to curtail these issues. And now the budget is before us. We want to find out from her if she has done such an allocation to make sure that these things are being curtailed or these things are being worked on and eradicated in our country, because it's growing and it's growing on an alarming way.
All right, so two questions before my colleagues can come in. Some of those things can be tied on, the poverty rate in Liberia. The actual poverty rate. Somebody can say, look, if the child doesn't sell, he or she cannot even go to school. If the child doesn't sell, the family cannot eat. Are you also taking that into consideration? B to the question is how alarming it is. The
first thing is, I don't think the children should be the one should be using in our poverty. So if you think you put now, why you a second cancer the market? Why you should use the children? They got people, they got philanthropy. Reach out for your children to go to school and other things. And in fact, the primary schools are free. So let's see what can be done for the children to go to school. And election coming. Everybody's so desperate. Some people think that this is the only way they can get power, by doing other things that is not pleasing in the sight of God.
That was my next question.
So we can have these children.
Is that one thing that have drawn your attention? That was my
Seriously,
next question. Because
I can tell you.
Recent we see, the past of case. Recently you saw a very, very disheartening. Is that the reason why you're doing this call? Because elections coming, people want to go to power. They'll use all kinds of means to get there. You think that's one of the reasons?
My advocacy for decency always been done. I spoke about I'm one of the person that championed this issue with the prostitution. I don't think, because these guys are on the street, they are not safe. Some people know they're sick, they can't sleep with their wives. They go on the street and pay $150, $200 and sleep with each other and infect them with a lot of sicknesses, and they go at the end of the day, they come down. This is the same thing with the kids. Election is around the corner, and our children are passing with basket on their head. Some of them are leaving their homes with manic, that when you go outside there, their goods not finished, don't come. What if they encounter the wrong person, take them in the house, and do what? Up to now, the issue in Bong, I'm still traumatized. When I saw that photo, when I saw what happened to that baby, I'm still sick in the stomach with what happened to the baby. So what happened if somebody children are all around the street? What happened when somebody trying to moving around with these people that are not well? What happened at the end of the day if they encounter the wrong person? We're just going to have a lot of our children going astray. So it's important. And thank God my colleagues talking very seriously. We're going to be calling on them to come to us and let us know what can be done. If some of these children were arrested and keep them somewhere and carry them to the very safe home, and when the parents come, they have to do written communication that it will not be repeated until we leave the children. That's why we keep them in the safe home. It's important. The president just gave messages every day. The president just spoke about the safe home, how it's performing that safe home all around the country. So it's about the safety of our children. Government, these are things that should be important to government. When it comes to the safety of our kids, when it comes to the safety of our future leaders, it should be important to government. If it calls for the safe home to be crowded and money to be allocated for other areas for them to keep them, but if we start taking them from the street, their parents will get concerned and they will be more careful, and they will not send them with the volume on which they are sending them now.
What do you think we need or a law to enforce children or street selling?
Well, we have the children law. The children law covers all of those. It covers everything there. That children not supposed to be used to be breadwinner for the home and everything. The children law is so that is why the police is coming, because we have the children division. And even if it costs for me at the end of the day to change for the children parliament to come and give us testimony on all these things, then we will do that. So it's on the law. It's not stopping the police from implementing, taking those children from the street, and there where the gender minister coming. The police turn them over to the gender, and then they take them to the safe home and make sure that things are done properly to save our kids.
There have been child rights all for a decade now, and are we still seeing the cakes in the street? What are the penalties?
Oh, but this is how the penalty gonna come in. The law is there. If you get these children, you don't find it. I'm sure the parents will make an announcement, or you will make an announcement. And when they come, you apply the law that on the book for them. So we as plenary and as the people representative are calling them to enforce these things and get the children from on the street, because it's risky for us. When the children are being killed, not only the parents feel the pain, some of us have children. So when it happens to other kids, we get so confused and we feel very bad because it will happen to anybody at any time.
This is critical. Is it a final? Can I have a final one? So I'm sure this will be the final one. This is critical from my end. Okay, so this is critical, and we know how Liberia things work. Sometimes when issues come on the plenary floor, even when laws are passed and they are not implemented, and this is something that is alarming. We keep making reference to the Bong case that have taken social media. So what happens again if this becomes the normal politics in the plenary? What will you do? What will be your next step?
You know me. When we follow something, we don't leave it easily. And you saw plenary decision about it. Everybody there took it very seriously. I mean, some of my colleagues gave testimony. And again, I will tell people every day, this is our work, to bring these people that are responsible. That is where our oversight come in. So the police come in, the gender minister come in. That is not the end. Our oversight still follow to make sure that it's not, if I stay after this discussion with them and we still see the volume at a high level, I'm still going to bring it. We're not going to stop until this stop.
Yeah. So some will say some of these issues are things that we have been seeing over the period, and some of us that have managed to speak with the kids, they have attributed those things to the fact that they are helping their parents can afford. What do you think also needs to be done to empower parents as well? And for the issue of disabled, those children escort their parents to beg. What about empowering the child and leaving the disabled parents? How do you reconcile them?
So we have a lot of programs. This thing is going to be a holistic thing. It's going to cover everywhere. We have now the Disability Commission, right? So those are areas. The budget is good. I even brought this. The budget is before all. Then these people come and advocate for the very institution. Don't you say maybe it was not captured by the finance ministry, but now it's before us. These leaders from this very institution need to come and say, okay, we have these people on the plane. Maybe we want to do a little macro loan for them for empowerment, for some of them, their wives or their husband to be selling, because some of them, their wives and their husband are in the same position, so they can sell for them at least to maintain them. So at least now the budget is before this commission and these other areas. Let it come. It's something, it's the right of the citizen to come and say these are things affecting us, because what we work for them, we don't work on our own. So these are things that need to come. If you say the economic situation, we learn there's going to be loan all around the place or so. So if the citizen are benefiting for it, we're also going to bring that to plenary to know that these things are not accurate. It's been said, but it's not happening.
All right, so if there's no more questions, this is how we take leave of you. Thanks so much for speaking to us. Thanks so much for giving us this opportunity.
Oh, thank you, and it's good to be in conversation with you all. Thank you.
All right, so the boss of Moima Briggs-Mensah, Provision Implementation number 6, been speaking to the price. Thanks so much for following. Thanks for watching.